end of any bottle, it's normally a story that comes with that. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you just remember some good shit. Welcome to the Bottom of the Bottle podcast.
It is, we back at it again. It is the Bottom of the Bottle podcast, the BOTB show. I am your host, Jay Walker III. That's my co-host, Carolina Dirt 803. What's happening, brother?
Shit, you already know what it is. It's the Satday Night situations. So we about to get in. Huh?
I just repeated you, guys.
Oh yeah. We got a dope one for the night. So I'm trying to get my turn up. So let's get it on.
Yeah, man. Look, we come from a small town in South Carolina, like the old people say, and we got another homeboy, player, partner, schoolmate. Again, it's the people that you know, that you bump into every day, that you don't know, man. Professional athlete, coach, representing USA tennis. Y'all read the bio, man. The bio was out there before the show was. So we gonna bring Mr. Terrance Quattlebaum on and talk about these things and some more shit. What's going on with you, plug?
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing tonight, man?
Man, look, it's another day in paradise. That's my favorite line.
Man, I gotta get this off me because it's been on me. It's been on me since you sent your bio and your pic. Well, I see you looking extra swole. You ain't had to sit in the pic with no shirt on, but you know, I put it out there for the
junior.
Yeah, I did my marketing and put it out there because females probably like that. But bro, you looking a lot like Gucci in them pictures, bro. I mean, say, bro, you looking like Gucci, man. I'm like, shit.
Hey, so hold on. So I'm older, so Gucci look like me. He might be my son. You know?
Okay. And he needed prison time to get it.
Hey,
you did it on your own.
Yeah, see, I was back in the day, man, long time ago. I might have been a wild boy, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember that, but
yeah.
You know.
Don't worry, statute of limitations.
Yeah.
Wife, kids, and all that. We understand. We ain't gonna do it like that. So we normally start out with this thing. First call. First call is real simple, man. It's 10 questions. I got 5. My brother got 5. Ain't no right or wrong answer. We're not about to test your education, your higher education, or nothing. We just doing a heat check, a feelings check.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So my first question, favorite pair of shoes all time?
Chuck Taylors, low cut. Blue and gray.
Sport.
Hey, man, I got several pair in the house right now. Hey,
I know you a beast, cuz.
Hey, and the thing about it is, I'm a little tight on money, man. I don't like to spend a lot of money. I mean, I can, but you know,
it's more important things.
Yeah, like when I was playing ball and whatnot, man, I had the Jordans, I had all the ones, but the shoes that I kept in my closet underneath my bed was some Chuck Taylors. I had the white, the red, the blue. You know, I think I even had a yellow pair one time, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you was out there. You was jumping out the Chuck Taylor train.
Yeah.
I ain't mad to you.
Mm-hmm.
Worst drill in football. Practice come up, drill you don't want to do. Hate to see it.
Probably an Oklahoma drill, man. hey,
Especially if they don't match you up, right?
Hey, man, what I got a quick story I'm gonna tell y'all about that. So, and hopefully I don't offend nobody, but it was high school at Dutch Fork. It was one day, man. It had just finished raining, and I think it's probably a Saturday practice, and it was Coach Cameron got me, Sean Carroll, Joe LaVille, Ryan Hardy, and Jason Pollock. So the two hardest hitters on our team that senior year was probably Ryan and Joe. So you know, Oklahoma drill, you lay down, you blow the whistle, you run through each other, you try to score. So I'm down, Joe LaVille down, he blow the whistle, get up, I don't score, Joe tackle. Cool. Jason do the same thing with Ryan, he don't score. Sean get up, I think on Joe, he scored. Sean Carroll scored.
Okay.
So cool. Then we all went through each other. So then, now we done made this big mush pit of dirt and slush and all. Coach Kimmer said, all right, who got the most wins? So Sean Carroll said, I do. So Coach Kimmer said, Ryan and Joe, y'all lay down. Sean, you lay down. So I looked at Jason. I said, man, he got to be crazy, man. We can't score on one of them. How we gonna score on two of them?
Right.
Man, when I tell you they dish rag Sean so bad, bro, bro, it was bad. Hey, I told myself I'd never do that drill again, and I ain't gonna have nobody do that drill. It was bad. Hey, it was bad how they did them, man. Real bad.
Can't look, drowning in water is hell, but drowning in mud got to be a whole nother thing.
Man, they was picking them up, slinging them down, falling on them, and me and Polak, we standing there like, dog, aren't you glad you didn't win? I said, hell yeah, I'm glad I ain't win. I ain't want to go against both of them. No, sir. Man.
Okay. I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to go East Coast, West Coast. Not necessarily music. Could be weather. Could be food. East Coast, West Coast.
East Coast, got to be.
Okay.
But then you got huh? You can't just say East Coast or West Coast. You got to be.
But you can.
South, you got to say Southeast. Yeah, Southwest.
Okay.
You know.
So you got more specific, but you chose East. So Southeast.
Yeah, Southeast. You know, I'm from the South, man, and Southeast ain't nothing like Southeast. The SEC ain't nothing like the Southeast.
Indeed, I like that. I like that.
Anywhere in the world, when you come Southeast, hey, you at a great spot.
Indeed. Favorite car you own that got you in the most trouble? You ain't even had to own it. Maybe you was allowed to drive it.
Man, when I was in my pursuit of a professional career, I drove a blue Oldsmobile Delta 88. Hey, it had the seats was velvet. Man, it had some spoke rim caps, man. Hey, but I kept it clean though, man. It was blue. It was a photo. It was a family man car.
Hold on. Was the headliner coming down?
Oh, hey, eventually it did. It did. Hey, man, I drove that car from a workout in Atlanta on a Saturday to Connecticut to work out that Monday morning. Man, when I tell you that car took me 18 hours, man, I was sleeping on the window. I could have swore the car was in autopilot, man. It rode so good. Hey, I had a pillow in the back seat. I put it on the window. People looking at me like, what is he doing? But I had to get to Connecticut.
Absolutely.
So I could get some rest for a tryout on Monday morning. Hey, that was the worst drive ever. I hate driving. But now I hate driving because of it.
Okay. My final question. Sports movie that defines some of your life or maybe part of your career. What sports movie do you identify with?
Rocky.
Okay. Yeah, that classic right there.
Rocky.
That's my 5.
Yeah.
All right. What's the hardest word for you to pronounce?
So you make me say it?
The hardest word for me to pronounce. Let's see. It might be quite a few, man. I can't think of one, man. For real. Hey, I just got to be talking and thinking of something. I just can't think of one right off that.
All right. Favorite action hero?
Superman.
Mm.
My nickname Black Superman.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slash Gucci. Favorite black actress?
Favorite black actress? Probably Angela Bassett.
That's what everybody say.
Yeah.
Everybody say that. A good one. On a hot day, ice cream or like a freeze pop?
Freeze pop, man. Ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant, man. I get that ice cream, somebody in trouble. Hey, if you're sitting near me or you're around me, it's gonna probably be a problem.
All right. The last one, breakfast. Chicken and waffles or shrimp and grits?
Shrimp and grits. Shrimp and grits. But
I need that extra
I would rather have you give me some salmon, eggs, and rice with some green onion. That's my breakfast right there. That's my breakfast.
That's a good breakfast too, right there.
That's Southeast. He from the Southeast.
What?
That was real right there. That touched my soul a little bit right there.
Some of the people I know, man, they talk. They might want their tuna fish, eggs, and rice. But see, that tuna got too much mercury in it. But that salmon is better for you. It's got a large amount of omega-3, so it's better for you.
Yeah, that's that health.
Already on the health and wellness.
Yeah, you on the health and wellness already.
You know what I'm talking about? So that was first call, man, and great job handling that. Let's start at when was sports, or was sports a family thing? Was sports something that you sought out, where you pushed to it? Like at the beginning, what drew you into sports? Being athletic.
His last name. Shit, all them athletic.
We know that, but the people don't know that.
So starting out, I played baseball. When I was young, I played baseball, and it was cool, but it just wasn't. It wasn't my cup of tea, man. A lot of things with baseball I really didn't like, and being that I was young and it was my first sport, I didn't really understand it, so I was a little discouraged because I didn't understand it. But what I wanted to do was make my dad happy, make him proud. Being that I'm a Quattlebaum, all my uncles and cousins played football.
These the fastest brothers in the world.
The world.
All in the same family.
The world.
And so, and man, I knew nothing about football, but what I did know, my dad, he'd take me out in the backyard, man. He would throw me the football, man. He'd throw bullets at my face, beat me up, man, blood in my nose. And he'd lead me into the bushes or something. And as a kid, man, I just wanted to make my dad proud of me. So my training started in the backyard. I remember my mom, she'd be at the back door of the kitchen window looking out, and she'd be like, "Charlie, stop throwing that boy hard. Stop throwing it hard." Hey, I make a man out of him. Hey, man, when he used to throw that ball, hey, it was hard, bro. It was hard.
How many times you quit? In your head or out loud?
Oh, in my head, I quit all the time, but he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't let me. Hey, man, we'd be out there till it's dark, man. So one day, he said, "We're going to sign you up for football." And I was like, okay. Now, mind you, never played tackle football, didn't know nothing about football, man. I didn't know I was fast or nothing. And so we go to Todd Moore downtown. Well, no, it was in Harbison. Todd Moore of Harbison. I don't think it's there anymore. He bought me some shoulder pads, bought me an old Earl Kelman football helmet, with the one bar, man, and bought me some. Did I have ponies? No, I didn't have them ponies yet. I had them the Winner's Choice. I had the Winner's Choice football cleats with the little pellets on the bottom. And man, I ain't know no better, man. So I'm going out to football practice. Man, I'm getting killed, man. Joe LaVille was on my team. Nicholas Reeves was on my team. Nate was on my team. Nate Spells. Harry Lake, hey, God bless. Harry Williams was on the team. Man, we had that Seven Oaks Eagles team was loaded, man.
Okay.
And now them guys, I don't know if they knew how to play football at that time, but they showed me how to play. So, so man, going through practice, getting ready for the first game or whatnot, and I was playing running back. Man, they didn't know nothing about no running back, man. But the play that I liked was 45 scissors. It was a counter. And first play of the first game, man, we ran 45 scissors. I got the ball and I scored a touchdown. First play of the game. And when I ran to the sideline, well, when I scored, I did my little touchdown dance and spiked it because that's what I seen on TV. And so when I ran to the sideline, I seen my dad. He wasn't smiling, like he was happy for me. He said, "Don't ever do that again." He said, "Act like you've been there." And I'm like, "Oh man, I just scored my first touchdown ever
in life,
and on the first play, and you ain't even happy for me." Well, he was, but he didn't want me out there showboating. So that was my first lesson in football. After that,
let me put a pin right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how we live now and how we got to understand everything and it's an excuse for everything. They would call your father today a toxic father. Just speak on how you feel about that now.
That's why I think the world is where it is now with these kids. They're not allowing their parents to discipline them. And discipline not meaning, always a spanking,
Right.
It's
I don't know about no spankings. I got my ass whooped.
Yeah, believe me, I did too. but when was the last time that you've heard or seen a kid get a spanking in public? I got him.
I damn sure got him.
And to keep me and my brothers from getting them in public, my parents said, "Y'all stand in the car."
Okay.
Yep.
So we didn't embarrass them in the grocery store or Walmart. We stayed in the car. So we didn't get our butt spanked. They weren't embarrassed. We were good.
I think it's adversity. They don't want these kids to they don't want them to understand. Yeah, they don't want them to understand how to overcome adversity. And adversity starts with your parents. I was telling somebody the other day, I was telling a coworker the other day, there's nothing nobody can say worse than what my mom and dad have ever told me. And it can be as simple as a no of something you really want.
Yeah.
There's nothing no person can tell me nothing no worse than what my parents have ever told me. But some people find that what they say is being too hard on you or whatever. But I understand these kids are in a different time and age, but everybody needs adversity. Everybody has to see it, because if you don't see it, you won't know how to overcome it.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. So now, talking about that, you got these kids that are, being that I was an athlete, and we were all athletes at some point, and these one sport athletes. We grew up. We played everything.
Everything.
Now, what we were good at took us a little bit further, but we played everything.
Everything.
Right. I was just talking to a kid the other day. I was training, and he was probably 6'2", maybe 210. And I said, "Man," I said, "You play basketball, don't you?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You play football?" He said, "Yeah, when I was younger." I said, "Man," I said, "Why you don't play anymore?" He said, "I ain't trying to get hurt." And I was like, "Why are you even worried about getting hurt?" Yeah. I said, "Because when you worry about getting hurt, that's when it happens." I said, "But do you understand?" I said, "I know you like basketball and that's your heart now. But there's more scholarships in football than it is basketball." And he said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't understand." I said, "But you can also go to college. You can play football, you can play basketball, golf, tennis." Knowing now what I knew, if I would have known then, I'd play tennis. I wouldn't have picked up a football base. I'd have played tennis my whole life.
Definitely would have played golf.
That's like I played football most of the time. I played baseball when I was young, football, high school. But like my senior year in high school, I ran the whole school year in sports. So I started with football, went to track, went to wrestling. But I was telling a young guy, he's working with us, friend of the family, working with us at my job, and he on JV football team. And I was like, "You play any other sports?" He was like, "Nah, just that." I said, "Well, you might want to take up karate or MMA for hand control." He looking at me crazy. I'm like, "Dude, you need to pick up another sport to help you with the sport you love."
Yeah.
I said, "Karate and MMA, all that is hand control. You need that because you ain't nothing but." He 5'10", $160. He ain't playing outside linebacker. Even though, yeah, exactly. Even though it's JV, these JV kids are getting big.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying. So I said. So what's your
SEC punter would give that man hell.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you got to think outside the box. You got to diversify your talents, and I don't think these kids know how to do that. They just sticking to one thing. The one thing they sticking to is what they see on TV.
Yeah.
But is that in a tie with, like, AAU was becoming a thing when we was young? Is that in the professionalized, with them professionalizing youth sports? You know what I'm saying? Because whereas we got a chance to pick or choose, you got coaches coming to seek your kid out now. I want him to play for my AAU team, period. And then your son or daughter's life is in this AAU coach's hands. And he like, don't do other shit. You know what I'm saying? Do this. So is that the evolution of youth sports? Or is that
no?
I mean, because it's expensive and it's time consuming when you're talking about multiple sports.
Mm-hmm. That goes to your upbringing, your parents. I was lucky to have a mother and father in my household.
God bless.
My dad was not gonna let some other man tell him how to raise his son.
For sure.
I don't care if it was AAU basketball, track, whatever I was doing. My dad was my first coach.
Right.
Whatever my dad told me was going to probably trump whatever my team coach said. Now, my dad wasn't going to undermine the team coach because he wanted me to do what the coach said because it was going to make the team better. But if my dad thought that I shouldn't do that, I wasn't going to do it.
For sure.
And today, you got these AAU coaches, a lot of these kids are raised in a single parent home with the mom, and the mom's working, and she's taking care of this kid and another kid, and then the AAU coach he's pretty much the kid's role model, and he's picking them up, taking them to practice, but that AAU coach, he's using the kid.
It's business
because he sees the business part of it. Yeah. Hey, if I can get this kid a full scholarship and possibility, a chance of making the NBA, this kid gonna give me a kickback because he see me like his dad.
Yep.
No. See, when we were growing up, man, it was your mom, your dad, your coach, your teachers. That's who we, no, it wasn't some guy, he just heard about me.
Right.
Sure.
But
like Friesgate. John used to run Friesgate, and he used to run the Raging Bulls. And the Raging Bulls was an AAU basketball team. A lot of kids from Irmo played for them. Now, John, he gave his life to all those guys that he coached. But he still allowed their moms and dads to, hey, this your kid.
Right.
I need you to be a part of their life. Yeah, I'm their coach here, but outside of this, you got them.
For sure.
But I think that's the other thing with the whole NIL, the NIL thing. Yeah. Because now this AAU is really a business now. These kids can get a contract in 10th grade or, got sponsorships looking at them in 10th grade now. Now these AAU coaches are really on some, hey, I'm about to pay for you to move, 1 block over or a mile up now. Because now it's really business.
And that coach want that kickback. He want it.
He definitely want that kickback. Yeah. He want that kickback, if not become his agent.
Man. Right. So let's flash forward. For you, Terrance. We're gonna flash forward. You went to Dutch Fork. You had a very successful career. I mean, DFHS is a football factory for the people that don't know, and this is nationwide. I don't care where you're from. Yeah. You can find out about our school. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm gonna let that be.
They own the map right now. They own the map.
They own the ESPNs.
If you don't win, did they win 5 state championships in a row? And man, 4.
And they could have won the 5th.
Yeah, 4 lost one and won one. It was like 4 straight, lost one, then came back.
But they got 6 altogether.
Yeah, they got 6 altogether, something like that. Yeah.
Your transition from high school to college, like leaving the comforts of home, the shelter of mom and dad, how was that in effect? Just tell us about that transition in your eyes, in your mind.
Right. At first it was rough, man. I got homesick. So I got to West Virginia State. True from Irmo. There's a lot of black people in Irmo. But Dutch Fork's not a black high school. No. When we were there, Dutch Fork was predominantly white.
Oh, certainly.
What we had in my graduating class, we probably had 50 black kids, maybe 60, maybe. So when I went to West Virginia State, that's an HBCU.
Right.
At Dutch Fork, man, I wore my pants up with a belt on every day. I had my shirt on. I wasn't sagging. I wasn't cool. I mean, to West Virginia State status, I wasn't cool. I was this black kid, Poindexter. That's what I got called, Poindexter. Yeah. So that semester, man, and playing football and whatnot, there's a lot of guys from Miami. We had a couple guys from DC, but most of the team was from Miami. A few was from South Carolina, Spartanburg area, from Georgia, and but I couldn't really relate to all of them because how I was brought up and where I came from was different, man. I didn't have it hard per se.
Right.
And it wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard. And so I had to learn who I was, as a black man. My identity, I'm a black guy. I can be cool. I had to, what's the term, swag. I had to get my own swag, fall into my own. And but that first semester at State, man, I cried a lot of nights, man. I balled out on the field and, I did my thing, but off the field, it was rough. Nate Spells was my roommate, and me and Nate Spells, bro, we stuck together. It was me and Nate,
Right.
And, I hung out with a couple of the other guys on the team, but it was different, man, I wasn't used to that. But, because I remember this was probably in November. Things weren't, this was in the spring. And things weren't going right, man. And, I was calling my parents every night, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm transferring. I'm going back home, man. So I ended up I called one of the coaches from South Carolina State. I forgot what his name was. And I said, hey, I'm thinking about, transferring. So what would I have to do to transfer? And he said, you probably going to have to sit out next year, and then you'll be good. And he said, man, you still on our radar. We was trying to figure out where you were at and what was going on, because we know a lot of people were after you. But talking to my dad, he said, listen, he said, Carl Lee and Sterling Sharp told me, you come to school here, they're going to give you an opportunity to do things that nobody else has done at this school. So, man, I decided to stay, which I needed to be away from Irmo, because if I wouldn't have left South Carolina, I'd probably still be there right now.
Right.
Not to say that it's bad, you know, because I do want to move back eventually and retire and live there. But I wouldn't have got out to see the world and things that I've experienced, you know.
Find yourself.
Yeah.
That adversity comes in many different ways.
And when I tell you, man, it was rough, man. Hey, it was plenty nice, man. They didn't give me a car that first semester, but they gave me a car that next semester. Oh, and I was good then. You know, my wife now, she was my girlfriend then, and she would travel up to see. Yeah, she would travel all the way to Institute. Hey, what you know about Institute? she would drive because she was at South Carolina, and the thing was, I probably should have went to South Carolina, but if I would have went there, me and her, we probably would have never got married. There's too much in South Carolina going on. But yeah, man, she traveled, you know, to come see me, and it made that experience better, you know. And then my parents were there. My mom and dad came to every game in college. They didn't miss not one game. And, bro, I mean, in all 4 years, they didn't miss not one game. Rain, sleet, snow, man, they were at every game. And she was with them at every game.
A different kind of cold, too.
Oh,
yeah, what? Definitely from South Carolina.
Man, we played, I think it was Fairmont State, and it was snow up there. Our ankles, mid-calf, and we out there playing. Bruh, hey, them guys from Florida, they out there with no sleeves on, no socks. hey, man, I had a hoodie on. I had sweatpants. Hey, nah, bro, I couldn't do it, man. It's something else. Nah, that's some cold.
You know, niggas from Florida get the power from the goals.
Yeah.
Hey, boy.
The goals in the dreads.
And they all had goals, at least one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you switch up from football and now you're invested in the tennis and?
Well, hold on, cuz we gotta get. This man got championships now.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
You do your time. You finish up at West Virginia State. What is it looking like for you? Is it a chance that you go into the league? Was it the goal to get to the league? How do we end up with the Explorers?
All right. Well, my senior year at West Virginia State, we're going through fall ball, getting ready for the season. And this is our afternoon practice of 2 days. And going into that senior season, I said, all right, I had worked out for some scouts that came by in the junior day. You know, from my freshman year to my junior year, my stats and everything were amazing. Like I was looking out, my goal was to be All-American my senior year. And I made all conference every year, first team. I pretty much led conference in, you know, receiving stats. And that second practice, I want to say it may have been probably 2 weeks in, right before I was working on tiptoeing, laying out on the sideline, catching the ball, stretching out, catching the ball. And I did that one, and I ended up tearing up my left knee on that drill. And it was just a torn, well, at the time I didn't know what it was, but it went back and they gave me treatment, ice and stem, and you know, said it was probably just a strained ACL or a strained knee. But I ended up playing that whole season with a torn meniscus, which a torn meniscus ain't bad now, but not knowing what it was, I lost my speed. I wasn't fast enough. Like
Hold up now, Terrance. Your speed and somebody else's speed, 2 different speeds, bro.
True indeed, but that was my game. The best part of my game is because I was fast. I was going to always be the fastest guy on the field.
Always.
No quarterback was going to be able to outthrow me. If you say hike, you take a 5-step drop, I'm going to outrun your ball.
Right.
You better take a 1-step, 2-step drop and throw it as far as you can. I'm probably going to be 40, 50 yards down the field on your 1-2-step drop. So that senior year, so I tore it, and I I couldn't open up. And I'm like, man, why can't I open up, man? What is going on? And so I was doing everything that I could, but I couldn't open up. I wasn't fast. I couldn't outrun anybody. I couldn't create separation from the DB. So I was like, man, what's going on? And it hurt me, and I was frustrated. So my senior year at West Virginia State, it was my worst year ever. I became a possession receiver. I run the route, catch the ball, I get a few yards after and get down.
So you played your senior season, you never addressed it?
Well, going to HBCU, man, it's a lot of things with the HBCU that back then, HBCU, they didn't have the medical staff, you know, they didn't have the technology that we have today for you to address it and get it done. I mean, and look, I was trying to graduate in December so I could go train for the combine and get ready. Because my goal, I'm going to the league. At this point, I'm number 1 or number 2 Division II receiver in the country. My stats lined up with every Division I athlete, Peter Ward, all those guys, man, my stats were there. But I couldn't separate. My senior year, I couldn't separate, man, and it killed me. And so we were playing Charleston Southern the last game of the season. And I was like, man, I said, Lord, if this is going to be my last game, let me go out with a bang. Let me have the time of my life out here. And played Charleston Southern. That was probably my best game of that season. But it wasn't, that's not how I wanted to go out.
Right.
And but yeah, it was, I became that possession receiver. But it was, in the long run, it was a blessing because I've always put all my focus on my speed. I didn't really focus on my route running, catching the ball clean. It was always, you know what, I'm going to outrun this guy. You throw a go route, you throw a post. I didn't run a lot of digs, those intermediate routes. I mean, I ran them, but I wasn't good at them. And then my focus on catching the ball on those routes, it wasn't there. But when I lost my speed, I had to focus.
Had to tighten up
And start to run routes. So, graduated in December. Went and had surgery, Dr. Green, and I think it was Palmetto Medical Center or something, and he fixed my meniscus. So, and I got my invite to the combine and workout and everything, and I set myself back because after surgery I was trying to run that next week. And stupid because I knew combine's coming up. I got a workout. I got pro days coming up. I got to be ready. Well, I should let my body heal. I didn't. Yeah. So I set myself back. So me doing all of that, all my NFL shots and everything was going out the window fast. And it didn't happen. And so then I started going to all these little combines, these little workouts, CFL, arena workouts, pop-up, satellite NFL workouts. I was going to all of these, man, spending $50, $100, doing all these workouts and training, and the thing is, I trained. I trained at Dutch Fork with Coach D. Man, I went hard. I came back bigger, stronger, and faster than I ever was before.
Coach D got to get credible.
Hey, what? So I went to, like I said, I went to a workout in Atlanta, CFL workout. Not knowing much about CFL and not knowing anything about arena football. I mean, what the hell is arena football, man? What is that? I ain't about to stoop that low. I ain't about to play that. So went to a workout in Atlanta, and Montreal Alouettes said, like, hey, listen, we want to offer you a contract, but we got to see you one more time. And then I was like, all right, cool. Well, after that workout, my agent, he said, hey, I got to work out for you in Connecticut on Monday morning. Can you get there?
Load up the Delta.
I said, man, I just finished working out for 8 hours in Atlanta. And he said, you got to be there Monday morning. The New Haven Ninjas, arena football team, New Haven Ninjas. And so I was like, let's do it. So I got in my car. I got me a pack of them trucker pills they call black jackets.
Yellow jacket.
Hey, I popped 2 of them, not reading the paperwork. You ain't supposed to take 2 of them. You're supposed to only take 1. And I stopped at Burger King.
Take that 1.
Yeah. Hey, I stopped at Burger King. I got me some food. I ate, got on the road. Man, when I tell you, I did not stop. I didn't sleep until I got to Connecticut. Now, mind you, I had been up in Atlanta at 8 that Saturday morning, trained all day Saturday, drove all the way to Connecticut Saturday night, Sunday. I couldn't even sleep in the hotel, man. Them 2 trucker pills had me wide awake, bro. I was trying to throw up and everything, trying to get myself to go to sleep, but it wasn't happening. So then I get to that first practice in New Haven. Man, I looked horrible. I dropped everything. I was tired, man. I was done. And I said, man, I done drove 18 hours. For them to not give me the opportunity. So I got to turn around and drive all the way back. So Chris Bauer, he was like the team manager, scout, whatnot. I don't know what he did, but he said, hey, let's give this guy one more shot. So that Tuesday practice, the lights came on, and I looked. They were like, ain't no way we're going to let this guy go. No, we got to keep this guy. So cool. So I ended up staying. They put me in the hotel. I stayed in the hotel that season. So first game came around and I played. So back then in arena football, you had an offensive specialist, a defensive specialist. Everybody else was a 2-way.
Right.
I was a 2-way player because I had always played offense. Now, I played defense in high school. But I didn't play much defense. In arena football, a DB in arena football, you got to be that deal.
Okay.
I always tell everybody, you can be a DB in arena football and go outside and play and still be great. But you cannot take an outside DB and bring him in arena football and expect him to be good. It ain't going to happen. You ain't got that much time and that much.
I was about to say.
It's small. That recovery space that you got from outside, you ain't got that inside.
And the wide receiver at top speed by the time you hit the line of scrimmage, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. so man, it's crazy. So, first game, man, I'm supposed to go in at DB, but I'm in on offense. First play, he sent me on the go route. I run a post, touchdown. So, like, shoot, I need to stay in the game because if I don't stay in the game, then I can't go back in because you just burnt me. I can't go back in. So the coach was like, God, dog. Well, what we gonna do? Because we can't take a chance on him playing DB because he don't practice. He don't practice at DB. What we gonna do? So they burned me. So I had to go out. So that was that one play for that quarter was a touchdown. So I come in the next quarter, one play, touchdown. Boom, they burned me again. So my first game in arena football, I had 4 touchdowns, 1 in each quarter. so that next week, they're like, what can we do to keep this guy? We got to keep this guy on the field. So at the time, the OS was, what was his name? I think his name was Ryan Bland. Hey, big guy. So we're in Connecticut. All the other receivers big, they tall, 6'2", 6'3". You know, they not fast, but they tall guys. And so so they moved Bland to Jack linebacker and receiver. So they made me the OS. Oh, that next game, I think I returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. I had like three catches for touchdowns. I was going off, man. But the thing was, they never seen anyone that fast that ran routes that good, that could catch. You know, and only thing I needed was an inch. You give me an inch of room, I'm scoring.
Hey, Terrance, real quick. And I don't know when this was, and you may remember, you may not. And this is to tell my brother how fast you are. One day you was running through Old Friars Gate, and I was driving, and you was running. And I was like, "Damn, what up, Terrance?" He said, "What up?" And you said you was training for the combine.
Yeah.
And I asked you, I said, "What was your 40 time?" And you said you had an unofficial time and you had an official time. Can you remember that? Can you remember those times?
Yeah. So at that time, I was a 4.443 guy at that time, and I was a consistent 4.3. You know, it was a high 4.3, but it was 4.3.
I think one time you told me, if I can remember, the unofficial time was a 4.2.
Yep. Now, after that first year in arena football,
that might be when I saw you there.
After that first year, so I kept training, and so that next year, I ended up going to Charleston, South Carolina.
I told you, fan.
Yeah, going to Charleston, South Carolina, and playing, and man, I was killing it there until I got turf toe. And then me and the head coach there, we got into it because he thought I was faking it. Man, look, I needed to be at my best. So we got into it like a real physical altercation, and he tried to blackball. Well, the coach that I played for in Connecticut, he made a trade for me. And so when he made that trade for me, I went back to Connecticut, and I finished up the season there. So while I was there, the Buffalo Bills, they offered me a tryout. So I went to the Bills tryout. And it was crazy, man. They flew me in the hotel and everything, and we got there, and all the guys. It was only like 6 of us there, and Marcus Robertson, he was a receiver that played for Seattle. He was there, and I was a guy pretty much off the street, man. Ain't nobody really know me, and so all the other guys, they doing their drills, warming up, and I got my bag and I put it on the goal post. And I'm laying on the goalpost like this, chilling, because I know we getting ready to run the 40 to go through drills. That's how confident I was. So everybody ran that 40, and it was my time to run the 40. And so I got up and took off. 4.28. They said, run again. We need you to run again. I was like, okay. And one coach said, "Man, you out here chilling like you at the beach." He said, "You must be fast. You cocky, you arrogant." I was like, "Coach, I train for the 40. Like I'm here to make the team. I ain't here to go through all this. This stuff here, I can do all this."
I should have been here 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's how arrogant and cocky I was. And so ran it again, 4.31. And it was like, where in the world did this kid come from? Why is he so? Now we're going through drills. I'm out running every DB. Bledsoe can't out throw me. It was crazy. But they didn't end up keeping me. They let me go, and I went back home. They said they were gonna sign me to NFL year. Well, when they didn't do that, I told myself, I said, I'm done.
Right.
I don't want to play football no more. I got bigger, I got stronger, I got faster. I went through meniscus. Man, I've done everything that they've asked me to do
to pursue this dream.
And it didn't happen. So I said, I'm done. So went and talked to Bill, Coach Kimmery. He said, "Hey, you come coach at Dutch Fork, and I can help you get a job." I got there an AA position at Nursery Road with John Goodell, Coach Goodell. And I was coaching football at Dutch Fork. And me and Pollock, we coached JV. Man, we kicked butt on that JV team. Ellie, you wasn't on that team. I think you were probably a senior or something. No, you might have been out of school then.
Yeah, I think it was like I was a year out. So you probably got there like what, 2000, 2001?
No, this maybe was 2002, maybe.
2002, yeah.
Yeah. So me and Pollock, man, we start kicking it every day, man. Hey.
We lost him.
Yeah, he too fast for the Wi-Fi. Hey, but for the people that don't know what he talking about when they say 40, oh, you bet.
My whole body would have deconstructed. If I ran a 4.28, my body would have fell apart like a transformer.
Yeah, Terrance, we can't hear you. Try to go back to the screen and then come back into the chat room.
Close it out. Oh, he can't hear.
Yeah.
Shoot him a text.
But for the people that don't know what a 40 time is, 1 yard is 3 feet. He going 40 yards in 4.2, 4.3 seconds. That's fast as shit. That's fast as shit.
A couple things to learn is like starting out when he talking about his dad throwing the ball hard, busting him in the face, throwing him in the trees and bushes and shit. That prepared that man to be a fully grown adult and to understand and make him the man who he is. That first semester at West Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Those things are the things that make you a man, that make you be able to make a decision, worth your life.
Hey, I meant to ask you. Yeah, you bet. Real quick, Terrance. Because T.O. said he used to run angry. What made you run so fast? Psychologically, what made you run so fast?
Man.
Was it your dad? You just scared of him, like, mentally beating you up from the past, like growing up throwing the football at you? Like, being rough technically will make you bigger, faster, stronger.
That was part of it, but it was that old dog. Man, going to my cousin's house in Chapin, South Carolina. They had this big dog, man.
Sandlot
dog was named Toby. And so, so what we would do is, one of the cousins, he would hold Toby at the doorstep. And he'll tell then the other cousin, we'll all take off running through the woods, through a path in the woods, and he'll let Toby go. And if you start running, Toby was going to get you. He was going to get somebody. But Toby wasn't going to get me. He wasn't going to get me. Hey, and man, I remember plenty of times, man, that dog, he got close, but he never got me. And I didn't realize I was fast until after I beat my cousin Virgil.
Oh,
man. And they were all of them about 2 or 3 years older than me, man, bigger. And we raced. And the first time I beat him in a race, I knew I was fast.
So that was always in your mind, even going through all the drills?
Oh, because that was my big cousin, man. I always wanted to beat him running because at the time, he was like the fastest kid around at my grandma's house. But when I beat him, but that was it.
What challenges?
Adversity. You done beat adversity. Can't nobody beat you on the field then.
Man, and that was it, man. And then, training with Coach D and then running track at Dutch Fork, it tightened up my form and then training on my own once I graduated. It was, and I put in the work. I did. And to this day, I still put in the work. I'm not as fast as I used to be, but I would say I'm probably 4 or 5.
I'm about to say, that's exactly what I said. So you were 4'5". Like, that's still fast.
I'm probably about 4 or 5. Out the bed, I'm probably about 4 or 5.
That's Daryl Green, because he's still.
That's what I'm about to say. You Daryl Green.
Now, the thing about it is I'm 4 or 5 at 215. Back then, I was about 180. Now I'm about 215. So
you a little 18-wheeler. You a moving truck.
Yeah.
You old box truck.
But yeah, man, it's just the Lord has a way of humbling you, and this is my story that I tell kids. I was cocky, I was arrogant. I thought my shit didn't stink, because of the accolades and everything that I got, and people pat me on the back.
You think that's the only thing that kept you out of the Buffalo job? Is your attitude?
Yeah.
That's
because the way I carried myself and I was all wrong. It was all wrong. My attitude, I had a bad attitude.
But Terrance, you got to think some of that you earned also because you did the work. You put the work in. I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is live. Like you was like a black superhero when I was like, for me being under you, like seeing, because I saw you work out. I saw the time you put in. I saw how fast you was. I saw what you did game day. When the lights turned on, it was the same. It was the same thing on the practice field. So I saw you as a black superhero. I would expect you to be that cocky, and for you to put all that work in. Yeah, my man Chris. Yeah, that game was crazy. Like that was movie. I don't know if you remember that game. That was like a movie. But for everything you put in, I think you deserve to have somewhat cockiness because you're still in competition. If you're not in competition with somebody physically, you're in competition with yourself to do better and be better. So I just think at the day and time back then, they didn't coaches and stuff didn't like it, but now that's the normalcy.
Oh yeah, like if I was the way I was then, if I was here now, oh man, I would be Antonio Brown.
Damn, don't say that.
I don't know about
for
that.
real. Like
don't say that.
Like I'm gonna be honest, that's how I behave, bro. For real. I was, it was like
I ain't gonna do this.
You owe me this, you owe me that. But when I lost my speed and I had to rely on something else, it pushed me more to trusting God.
Well, hold up, Terrance.
Now,
and this is an important question. Was that because you went to the HBCU and you had to change your ways of who you are? Because me growing up watching you, I didn't see cockiness. I saw confidence. I didn't see cocky. So when you go to HBCU and you got to reinvent yourself, and I'm the black man on a black campus, that ain't taking no shit from nobody else, and then carrying that on to another career which you loved and that was who you were. I think you just changed because of that. Because I went to HBCU too. I wasn't the same person leaving Dutch Fork when I went to the HBCU. Now going to HBCU, I didn't take no shit from nobody. I didn't take none at a predominantly white school. But when I went to a predominantly black school, I was quicker about not taking no shit.
Yeah.
So do you think just because you went to the HBCU, you had more to prove? And then when you knew you were capable of proving it, you made sure you knew that everybody else knew that you deserved to be there.
You know what? You're right, because and some people at West Virginia State, they'll tell you, man, the way I walked around campus, I was like I ran shit.
Bro, if you put up numbers,
situations and things that I got in on campus that I got out of just because I was a star.
But think about it, you just compared yourself to Peter Ward. Peter Ward was on top of the world. And if your stat line and your speed is just as good as him back then,
probably would have lasted longer than he did.
So listen, so I played in Vegas and Peter Ward was on the same team. But he was on the downfall and he had bad knees and whatnot. And they brought me in pretty much because, Pete wasn't producing,
Right.
But the thing was, he was Peter Ward, man, and look, that name don't sell, right. And Sean King. So it was Peter Ward and Sean King. You remember Sean King, the black
Georgia?
Yeah, but those two names don't sell right there. They don't sell tickets
for sure.
So I mean, it was a little bit of both, man. I mean, going to HBCU and plus me working hard and feeling like football owed me something because I dedicated my life to football. And I wanted everything that it had to give me. But when it didn't, when it didn't, man, it was bad, man. That was the first time I ever shaved my head bald. That's how sick I was, man. Because I didn't get the opportunity to go to NFL Europe. I went bald. Man, I started drinking Coors Light. Me and Pollock, man, we probably drinking 6 or 12 pack of Coors Light every day, man. We Jay Pollock, man, we spent a lot of time playing poker, blackjack at his apartment, man, drinking beer, watching Dave Chappelle. That's all we did, man.
All that's good to hear. So just because, again, the theme for today's show must be the adversity. And this is what, for the people watching the show, these are things that you need to look out for and train and prepare your kids for. You know what I'm saying? You're not always going to be there, so train and prepare them. What was the thing, you shaved your head, you at home, you're not really caring, you're doing your day-to-day. So what got you back together? What made you whole again?
when I was at Nursery Road, you know, talking with my wife and my girlfriend at the time, and trying to plan out my future and what we were going to do. And so I got a phone call from a coach in Charleston, and he was like, "Hey man, we need an offensive specialist." And I was like, "Man, coach, I'm done, man. I ain't trying to play no more, man. I ain't trying to play no more football." And my parents kept telling me, "Don't give up. Don't give up. It's gonna happen. You know, somebody's gonna call. It's gonna happen." But I was like, "Man, I'm done, man. I ain't trying to play no more." But when that coach from Charleston called me, and he said, "Man, we're gonna give you an apartment. We're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you that. You come down." And I had only been out of football for 1 year. "And we're gonna give you this, and you come down here and you play for us." And talking with my parents and my girlfriend, which is my wife now, and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And so I left Nursery Road, Dutch Fork in that January, and I moved to Charleston, and I went back to arena football. Well, got down there, and I was the guy. But right before the first game, we were going to play Norfolk. They brought in this other kid. He was their OS the year before, because me and the quarterback at the time, we didn't get along.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't see me because he was short also. I'm on 5'9". He couldn't see me. Plus, I was outrunning all his balls. He couldn't get the ball to me. By the time he throw the ball, I'm out the back of the end zone. And so it was an issue. So They brought this other guy in. So we're in Norfolk, and they start this kid over me. I had been there through training camp. I'm the guy. And when I tell you I was pissed off, I said, "Man, excuse my language." I said, "Y'all take all this shit, this helmet, these shoulder pads. I'm going to sit in the stands with my parents, and I'm done."
You did do Antonio Brown.
Oh, bro. Hey. So one of the coaches, he's like, "Man, Q, don't quit on us, man. Don't quit on us, man. We're going to need you. That kid, he's not what they think he is, man. I promise you, man, we're going to need you." And I'm like, "Coach, man, forget that. I'm gone." But talking to my dad, that's not the right thing to do. So I go back in the locker room with the team. The first quarter, that kid stunk. When I tell you he stunk, man, he was dropping balls, man. He looked horrible. And and so now Norfolk, I had played them 2 years ago, the same head coach. And when I tell you I torched them, I think we played against them twice. I probably had 12 touchdowns. And so they was wondering, why the hell Quattlebaum ain't playing? What's going on? You got this other guy playing, and he horrible. So after halftime, I was on. And I didn't miss a beat. I was tearing them up, returning kickoffs, catching touchdowns. And the problem was the quarterback. It wasn't me.
Right.
Just because he couldn't get me the ball. You want me to slow down for him? No. My game is outrunning everybody running good routes, catching the ball. So what they did was they changed it. They said, "Hey, you got to take a one-step drop. If you don't take a one-step drop, you ain't going to never get the ball the quarterback. He going to be out the stadium." So he started taking the one-step drop and throwing the ball up. I run and get a touchdown, ball game. So that happened. Now I'm the guy. We winning in Charleston. I ended up catching turf toe, so I was out for a while. And me and the coach, we bumped heads. And he threw a football at me in his office. He threw that football at me. No, I don't take kindly to disrespect, man.
Threats.
Yeah. And so me and him, we had a situation in his office, and he pretty much threw me out left field, wouldn't trade me, wouldn't cut me, I was out there. I couldn't play. I was suspended. I had to write a letter to the league, call Coach Bauer, and that was in Connecticut. That's when they brought me back to Connecticut. They made a trade. And things turned around once I got there. But then fast forwarding to then I got married.
Okay.
After the Bills workout, got married and whatnot. He said, hey, my wife, her job wouldn't transfer her to South Carolina, so we moved to Knoxville. Here we go in Knoxville. Starting all over. Ain't no family in Knoxville. My wife, her family. I'm an educator now. I'm a teacher at Austin East High School. Austin East High School, it's a black high school in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's probably the roughest high school in Knoxville, Tennessee. Man, it was shootings in the school, outside of the school, fights every day. Man, y'all seen Lean on Me, the movie?
I was just about to say you was Joe Clark.
When I interviewed at Knox County, they say young black male, Austin East. That's where we put you, and that's where they put me at. Man, it was rough, boy. Hey,
so you was the coolest teacher there?
Oh boy, it was rough. Boy. Hey, but you know what? It also brought me back down to earth and let me see that these kids need someone like me, because these kids are from the projects. You know, they don't have a mom and a dad in their life. You know, they need a mentor. They need someone like me in their life. So, you know, after probably a couple of weeks there, man, I really enjoyed it. Austin East, I wouldn't change that experience. I would. But then my wife, she was working for Ford Motor Credit, and they closed the branch in Knoxville, and they said they gave us the opportunity to move to Nashville. Well, moving to Nashville, what am I going to do in Nashville? My wife got a job. I ain't playing football no more. I ain't got no job. What I'm going to do? Well, I get another phone call. Danton Bartow, Memphis Xplorers head coach. Hey, kid, I heard you're the missing piece to my puzzle. And I'm like, Coach, no, I'm done, Coach. I ain't trying to play no more, man. I ain't in no shape. I've been out of football a whole year now. I ain't trying to do it. He said, well, the offer's there, think about it. So then Chris Bauer, the guy from Connecticut, him and Dan Bartow were cool. Bauer called me and said, Quattlebaum. He said, they went deep in the playoffs last year. He said, you on that team, you would win the championship. You would. And things are going to open up for you. And I'm like, man, Coach, I said, man, I'm done, man. I ain't trying. And so we moved to Nashville on Thanksgiving. This is 2004, Thanksgiving. And we end up going to, I think, Jacksonville, Florida. And I was fighting with, what do I do? Do I pursue football again, or do I just be done with it? And my wife's uncle, Ron, and God bless him, he passed. And I was talking to him, and he said, man, he said, you're a great player. He said, don't give up. He said, if that's something you want to do, he said, my niece, she going to be there for you. She going to support you. We all going to support you. You know, if that's what you want to do it. And when he said that, man, I was like, you know what? Hey, let's do it. Right. So I started training. Man, I started training with a lot of guys in Knoxville. Justin Gatlin, he was training. You know, I got on the trails and ran with him. You know, and that's how I got my speed back.
Gatlin was a sprinter, right? Olympics.
Yeah, at UT, world class. And so we would train at Fulton High School. It was a park in Knoxville. I can't remember the name of the park. That's where we did our distance running, and we would run and sprint. And that's how I got back into shape fast. And I started lifting, and then went down to Memphis in January. It was rough because I was out of football for a whole year, man. I was really rusty, but you know, I was told I was gonna be the key. Man, when I tell you I was rusty, man, yeah, I was bad rusty, bro. Now I was fast, but I was rusty, dropping balls.
Right.
But and then I had to be two-way. I had to learn how to play DB because Kevin Prentice was the OS, offensive specialist. Now, you want to talk about somebody that can ball? Kevin Prentice might be 140 pounds soaking wet, man, but that kid can go. He played at Mississippi State, man. He could go, and I learned a lot from him, you know. as far as starting and stopping, because he could start and stop on the dime. You know, I was fast and I could start and stop, but he, man, dude, I seen him do some things.
And a lot of brakes wasn't breaking.
What? And but yeah, so you had him, you had me, you had a couple other guys on the team, and I ended up playing two-way. I played DB and I played Jack linebacker. But make a long story short, we won the championship that year. I got MVP of the championship game. I had 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, a couple tackles. Off to Vegas. Also lost Vegas to play, in Vegas. But finished up in Vegas, finished my career in Vegas. 2008, my wife was pregnant, had our first child. And I wanted to be home. I didn't want to be away from my family, my wife. I wanted to be here for the full pregnancy. And I was a free agent at the time. And, I wanted to be there. My parents were there for me. I wanted to be there for my wife and my kids. So,
indeed,
I was done. At that point, I was completely done. Yeah. And then I became an educator again.
That's dope, man. Look, this gonna have to be a 2-parter. You got to come back. We were supposed to get into physical training. We were supposed to get into tennis. You definitely got to come back and join us, man. This is what the show is about. Is you never know what fuels a motherfucker, or you never know what's going on with the people that you walk by every day.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you respect them, maybe you don't. You just don't know, man. And that's a hell of a journey. That's a journey that requires some media. You know what I'm saying? It could be a movie. You feel me? And it's good for us to hear your story. I'm proud to have known you before that. You know what I'm saying? Proud to know you now, the man that you become, and all the accomplishments that you've made. And we still got more to get into, man.
Oh yeah.
What you got for Carolina?
It's I could probably write a book about it, but I wouldn't change any of it though.
You should probably write a book.
I wouldn't change not one thing, because it's made me the man, the father, the husband, the brother, the friend, the employee that I am today. Some people like me, some people may hate me, but you know what? I'm gonna give everybody my best.
Oh, hold on. Chris asked this question not long ago, and I already know what the answer is. The way the NFL is now, everything is spread, protect the quarterback, defenseless receiver. If you were playing now, in the best shape of your life, what kind of numbers you putting up?
They would be crazy. They'd be amazing. What's the guy named? The guy that's they call him Cheetah. The guy.
Oh yeah.
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
He's fast, and he not me though. He's not me when I was at my best. No.
Talk your shit.
No.
Your shit, man.
No. Ain't no way, bro. No. When I was at my best, no. My best then playing in the NFL now, I'd be the highest paid receiver, hands down.
That's what I'm talking about. I like to hear that talk, man. I do.
And you know what? To be honest, I think I might can still do it now. but listen, I had a shoulder replacement. I had 3 shoulder surgeries, 3 ACLs.
Might be time to sit down, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to sit down somewhere.
It might be time for riding lawnmowers and
cigars, and Hennessy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the way out, I'll say, me being I'm 2 years younger than you. Shit, growing up, and like I said, Chris can attest to this, man. We looked at you, like I said, once again, like a black superhero, man. You was out there doing shit on the field that we see on TV, like TV shows and movies. Like your numbers was crazy, and that's just from the stuff I can remember. So I know there's other numbers that we can't, that I don't know that you've done. You was a staple for me. When I look at athletes I've known through my lifetime, you at the top. You in the top 5, if not top 3.
Thank you, man.
Quattlebaums and Polacks, cuz they probably round that off now.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I put you up to you, shit. Nate Reeves, and I had a cousin. I don't know if you remember. He was 2 years younger than you. His name was Kenyon Doyle. He played at Berkeley, and he was just as fast as you. I went to their practice. Every time he hit the sideline, coach stopped practice. Ain't nobody gonna catch him. Coach just stop practice. Not practice, stop the play. Every time he hit the sideline, it don't matter if he 2 yards in the backfield. Once he hit the sideline, coach will blow the whistle every time. But I always respect you. I always appreciate everything you did. Once again, there was a time period I ain't see you. I saw you running that one time. You stopped to talk to me while you was training, and we spoke. But one thing I do want to get from you, and this is very important because I talk about this dude all the time. Give me a good 30 seconds of what Coach Dixon did for you. Just real quick, for 30 seconds. But that dude don't get his credit for what he did for the shape of Dutch Fort, NFL players, and everything.
Like Coach Dixon, what he is to Dutch Fort and that community, it's in the lives that he touched, man. It's crazy. Because when I was in college, Coach Dixon, he knew all the NFL players because he pretty much
all of them.
And so every year, Sterling Sharp had his football camp. And Coach Dixon was the big-time trainer that all the athletes went to. When I was in college, he had Drake Bly was there. He had Seymour. Man, he had all these guys. And when I was in college, when I came home, I got to train with these guys. I learned from these guys because of Coach D.
Yeah.
And then training with Coach D, man, like, he made me bigger, stronger, and faster. And, bro, like, it was my body transitioned. If I would have listened to Coach D when I was in high school, instead of thinking Coach D, oh, man, he a square, man. I was a square. Coach D wasn't no square. He knew what he was talking about. Hey, look, my senior year, I did not have my name on the back of my jersey. You know why I ain't have a name on the back of my jersey? Because Coach D said I missed the workout. Well, I didn't miss the workout, but I was around there acting up, thinking my shit don't stink, and I'm cussing and going on. Coach D said, Quattlebaum, you cuss one more time, you ain't going to get this workout. And I needed that workout to get my name on the back. And he did not give it to me.
And
we going into the jamboree. And we going into the jamboree. Everybody running in the locker room because this year, we got our names on the back of our jerseys. We got new Nike jerseys. We fresh, man. Everybody go to my locker to see if I'm going to have my name on the back. I did not have my name on the back. Everybody else on the team had their name. I did not have Quattlebaum on the back of that number 5 jersey. I was pissed. I took my jersey. Coach came out and said, hey, man, what's going on? Was my name too long? I ain't getting no name. Well, man, why I ain't got my name? He said, how many workouts did you make? I said, I made all of them. He said, that ain't what Coach D said. I said, man, hold on. So I said, let's go talk to Coach D. He said, I told you, stop cussing.
Yep.
You kept on, so you ain't get that workout. And I said, Coach D, come on, man, you tripping, man. Everybody else got their name. He said, no, that's Coach Kim. If he want to put it on there, he can. But if not, oh, well. Coach Kim said, I'm not putting it on there. You should have listened. I was like, ain't this something? So I went to Miss Curry. She was our trainer, the athletic tape.
Yeah.
I wrote Quattlebaum on the back of the athletic tape. And I put it on the back of my jersey. We walking out there to play the game. Coach Kimmy take that off the back of the jersey. Hey, man. But I was so mad, man, that whole season. Hey, man, the announcers, they didn't even know who I was. They knew I was number 5. Hey, man, Polak scored a touchdown. Polak on the touchdown. I'm like, God, no, man, I get a touchdown. Number 5 on the touchdown. They got to look in the book to find out who I am. But, hey, once they found out who 5 was, it was on there.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Nah, look, Terrance, we got to have you back again.
Yeah, man.
I need some work. I'm a little doughy over this motherfucker.
Little.
So, hey, look, let me say it so we can get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no top grade of sirloin over there neither.
Hey, this is USDA right here.
Yeah, we need it in our community, of course, man. We need lessons on everything. We know that we're not supposed to do the stuff that we do, but maybe we don't know how to go about it. So nutrition, and just general overall physical health, man. We want to bring you back. All of that shit ties into mental health, and that's what we're here for, is to grow the culture and be an asset to the culture here at the bottom of the bottle. While we talking and drinking and cutting the food, ultimately, this is about bringing more sight and more effort to making us a better community, man. So I appreciate you. We going out on the last call. Last call is just a final word, brother. You can be motivational. You can curse somebody out. Somebody you can wait to curse out. What's that name in Charleston? You can get on his ass right now if you want.
No, man. Listen.
We walking out the door, man.
Hey, be you every day of your life. Don't try to be nobody else. Don't try to be like nobody else. Be you. Create your own path. Walk your own path. Do you. Don't just be happy with who you are. Because you got a lot of copycats out here, man. There's no copycat. Be you. And be you. That's all I got.
South Carolina.
Adversity. That's basically what this show was about, really. And it wasn't on purpose. Like a lot of our shows, I ain't gonna say a lot of our shows. Our shows, we don't have notes. We let the person, the guest,
conversation.
Yeah, it was just a conversation. We don't call our show an interview. We call it a conversation, because whatever the guest feel like telling us, we're gonna go off that. And what we've learned from Terrance is adversity. You can meet it, or you can try to ignore it. But either way, adversity is gonna show up.
Don't deal with it.
You're gonna have to deal with it, whether you get professional help, you do it on your own, or you get family help. But you got to beat adversity, because if you don't beat adversity, it's gonna beat you, and you're gonna have all types of mental problems and health problems.
Right.
And if you need help, just say you need help, man. Just say you need help. But adversity, we got to teach these kids how to overcome it.
Absolutely, man. Look, we back on that stuff that we on, man. Look, this is the Bottom of the Bottle Show. I do want you to like, share, subscribe. Terrance, you're going to see the credits roll out, but I want you to stay on. We're going to pop up in the background and try to make sure we get the second part of this great interview, a great conversation. Love the ones who love you, man. This has been another awesome show. I appreciate y'all, and we're going to catch you next time, man. It's the Bottom of the Bottle. We going.
There it is.